Welcome to News You Missed, October the 8th, 2025. We've got Wales in trouble, markets in denial, and politicians in hearings they wish they skipped. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning, Drew, and wow, what a news day we've got for you. Well, I'm going to jump in with my first story. President Donald Trump has ordered diplomats to halt talks with Venezuela, signalling a possible military escalation or an attempt to oust President Nicolas Maduro. The New York Times reports Trump reportedly grew frustrated with Maduro's refusal to step down and continued denials of drug trafficking ties. The move ends prior negotiations aimed at avoiding conflict and securing American access to Venezuelan oil, while Caracas has responded by boosting its military posture amid rising tensions.
And my first story of the day is US government shutdown at day 7. The shutdown rolls on, thousands furloughed, WIC funding frozen, GDP bleeding $15 billion this week. No deal, no donuts. Congress has turned do nothing into a competitive sport.
Do you know what, Drew, as well? And I saw something in an article yesterday that those poor members of staff, they might not get back pay when government resumes. And I feel so sorry for them because this is all about political leveraging. That's all, the only way I can describe it. And it's not right for the working people who rely on that money to stay afloat. My next story, at Marine Corps Base Quantico, President Trump delivered a fiery speech signalling a major shake-up in the US military. He mocked what he called the feminization of the armed forces, vowed to fire disloyal generals, and promised to bring back a tougher, more traditional army. Trump made it clear that loyalty will outweigh legacy. Already, several top officers have been dismissed for disagreeing with him. His defense chief, Pete Hegseth, backed the plan, calling for discipline and strength. Critics say Trump's vision could turn the military inward, focusing less on foreign wars and more on enforcing law and order at home. Don't you have to get your own house in order before you go out there and take on the rest of the world?
And my next story flies to Canada. Marineland threatens to euthanize 30 beluga whales unless the government approves an export to China or provides emergency aid. Ottawa refused, citing animal welfare laws. High-stakes standoff between finance, ethics and conservation. The only thing colder than Canada right now is this corporate ultimatum. That's sad.
It's sad. Oh, it is, isn't it, Drew? When basically animals that can't defend themselves are in the crosshairs of some weird plan. My next story, newly declassified CIA documents suggest that Joe Biden, while serving as vice president, asked the agency to suppress a report about his family's alleged business dealings in Ukraine. The 2016 memo shows Biden strongly preferred the report not be shared after Ukrainian officials reportedly expressed concern over his family's ties to corruption. At the time, his son Hunter sat on the board of Burisma, a major Ukrainian energy company. Biden has denied any wrongdoing, though critics say the documents raise fresh questions about transparency and influence during his vice presidency.
Moving on, AG Pam Bondi grilled in a Senate hearing over politicising the DOJ and shielding Trump allies. It's less Department of Justice and more Department of Just Don't Ask.
The European Central Bank President, Christine Lagarde, has warned the EU against using frozen Russian state assets to fund loans for Ukraine without following international law. The European Commission is considering a €140 billion scheme investing blocked Russian funds into EU-backed bonds to support Kiev. Lagarde stressed that any move must protect financial stability and the euro's credibility, noting that improper action could deter investment and create legal risks. EU members like Belgium and France have also expressed concerns over the plan's legality and potential fallout. Well, Drew, it's showing us that Europe is A, potless, they've run out of money, and B, they're going to poke the bear that is Russia by using funds that aren't legally theirs to fund the Ukraine war against Russia. Are we living in mad times or what?
You can't make it up. I mean, they have been saying it for a while. It's like it's a threat, but it's an empty threat. I don't know if they're actually going to do it, or like you say, just poking the bear. Next up, ICE detention scandal. A man held 37 days shackled to a hospital bed without charges. Judge calls it unconstitutional. ICE might need to read the Constitution again out loud this time.
Former French Minister Edouard Philippe has called on President Emmanuel Macron to resign, saying France needs an early presidential election to end its growing political crisis. His comments come after Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu quit just hours after unveiling a new cabinet. Macron's 7th PM to resign since 2017. Philippe told RTL Radio that while he's not calling for an immediate and brutal exit, Macron must take responsibility and act. A new poll shows over half of French citizens agree his departure could help end the political deadlock. There's something wrong here, surely. 7th Prime Minister since 2017. This latest one didn't even last 30 days. He quit after 27 days. Something seriously wrong in France.
Well, in Germany, Paul, Mayor Iris Stauser is in critical condition after a stabbing outside her home. Rising security tension for the local officials. How long has she been there for?
Oh, she's barely been in power, I think, a month. It shows that Europe is in a sorry mess. It really is. It's losing everywhere. It's losing control of its own countries. So, is it by design? I don't know. But I can tell you now, I think we're going to see sane minds take control and build Europe back up to what it should be. My next story. Madagascar's president, André Rajoelina, has appointed Army General Rufin Fortunate Zafisambo as the country's new prime minister, replacing Christian Netse. The move comes amid nationwide protests over blackouts and water shortages entering their 3rd week. Demonstrators led by youth groups are calling for the president to step down, with clashes prompting curfews and road closures. Rajoelina says the new PM will restore order and public trust as unrest continues across major cities.
And over to the WTO trade forecast. WTO upgrades 2025 global trade growth to 2.4%. Thanks to booming AI hardware exports, the robots are literally saving the economy.
Here's my weird story of the day. Dare I say it, we're going all the way back to the Nord Stream pipeline. Poland's Prime Minister Donald Tusk says his country will not extradite a Ukrainian suspect wanted by Germany in connection with the Nord Stream pipeline explosions. The suspect, identified as Vladimir Z, was detained near Warsaw last month. Tusk argued that handing him over would not serve Poland's interests, adding that the real problem wasn't that Nord Stream was blown up, but that it was built in the first place. Germany has not yet responded to Tusk's comments, while reports suggest Poland even considered granting the suspect asylum. Oh dear, Drew. That Nord Stream story gets a lot deeper. Could Poland be behind it, using Ukraine as the puppets? Who knows? And my last story, Drew. AstraZeneca is warning it may halt further UK investment unless the government reforms drug pricing policies, citing an outdated system that limits spending and deters innovation. The pharma giant has already paused or scrapped projects worth over £650 million, including a £200 million Cambridge R&D upgrade and a £450 million vaccine plant. AstraZeneca's UK chairman says the country risks falling behind globally, urging a more agile investment friendly approach like that in the US. Well, what can I say to that, Drew? I think probably the less investment from the drugs industry, the better, because unless they start churning out cures, I'm not interested in what they've got to say anymore or what they want to do.
Well, talking about money, or whatever's left of it, should we roll into financial funnies?
Oh, I think so. We got a few funny stories out there.
Go on, you go first.
You're too kind. Well, Gold has gone full rockstar mode, hitting over $4,000 an ounce. Investors are rushing in, treating it like a superhero safe haven, while the world wrestles with political chaos, trade wars, and a US government shutdown. Even retail investors are piling in, because who wouldn't want shiny bars while Washington plays musical chairs with the budget? ETFs backed by gold are booming, and vaults are suddenly more popular than luxury gyms. So if you've ever wanted to feel rich while the world freaks out, now's the time to hug your gold and maybe hide it under your mattress too.
And over to the markets. The S&P 500 in Europe hit new time highs again because gravity doesn't apply to money. AI hype and denial are the new economic drivers. And over to the Fed, traders now bet 97% on a rate cut after a weak jobs report. Only 22,000 jobs added. Apparently, America's new employment plan is manifestation.
Well, in a dramatic crypto plot twist, Binance coin BNB has just overtaken both XRP and Tether to claim the throne as the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. With a surge of over $182 billion, BNB is now only behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's like the underdog in sports movie who suddenly scores the winning goal. Analysts attribute this rise to increased DeFi activity and a deflationary token model. BNB's price has soared nearly 30% in the past week, reaching an all-time high of $1,336. Meanwhile, XRP and Tether are left wondering, did we just get ghosted by the market?
And Bitcoin's lounging at $123,000, ETH at $4,600, and total market cap $4.36 trillion. Everything's up until Elon sneezes.
Hold on to your wallets, India. The Reserve Bank is taking your deposits and turning them into digital tokens. That's right. Soon your money might be more like a collectible in a video game than cash in your hand. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says stablecoins are changing the game and India better adapt or get left out of the global digital money party. The RBI has long been wary of crypto, but now it's piloting tokenized deposits, letting banks play with blockchain without actually calling it crypto. So get ready, soon you might pay for your chai with a token and your grandma will be asking, where did my rupees go?
And BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF is racing to $100 billion faster in ETF history. Wall Street just discovered Bitcoin 10 years late. The S&P's crypto index, they mixed 15 coins and 35 stocks into one financial smoothie. Tastes like volatility with notes of regret. And the FTSE bosses hit record pay while everyone else hits overdraft. And one for the hackers corner. Hackers are posting as recruiters with fake Marriott job offers are installing vampire bot malware to steal Facebook business accounts. If your recruiter sends you a zip file, congratulations, you just got hired by a hacker.
Wow, that was the news you missed on Wednesday, the 8th of October 2025. Thanks for joining us. Now, we've covered those stories quite lightly there, but if you want to find out more about what's really going on, what the plan of the world is, head over to charlieward.com, join the Insiders Club, and find out every Wednesday and Saturday live with us. And our guest tonight is Auntie Colette. She's a wonderful lady. I've had the pleasure of meeting her, and she has got a wonderful insight into what's going on out there in the world. So see you all soon.
Bye bye.